Hello everyone. I'm sorry I'm a bit late. Lucky did not want to leave the aviary. She was so pissed. But now that I'm cuddling with her, she's calming down. So I really do apologize for the wait. You know this can happen. I either have technical issues or there's something else going on.
Animal problems.
Animal problem. What are you so pissed about? That we entered your territory? Hi, I am a unicorn. Hi, Craig. Welcome, everyone. Hi, Monster FH. Hi, Keelan James. Welcome to this live stream. Oh, there are already 9 people here. Yay! Hi, Melissa. I'm so glad you could catch me. Yes, we are all well, Craig. Thank you. Oh, look at Lucky. I think she's gonna fall asleep. 11 people already here. That's great. I may wait one more minute to see if there are more people coming. Hi, Kelly. Kelly asks, what do I mean with the title of this video? And don't worry, Kelly, I'm going to explain. I'm just waiting one more minute to see if there are more people who will join us. Because, you know, when I start telling my story, I don't want to have to repeat myself every time someone joins us. Hi, Macabre Rabbit. Welcome. 12 people already, yay! Yeah, like I announced on Instagram, this is going to be a very sensitive topic, a very controversial topic, and I might get emotional during this video, I might not get emotional, it depends. I also have to get my period, so yeah, I might cry. Yeah, Lucky is really chilled now. The moment I started cuddling with her, she was like, oh, is this the reason why you took me out of the aviary? Okay, why didn't you just tell me right away? Okay, there are 13 people here, and I am going to start the topic of this video. You guys know that I have been going through a spiritual awakening. I made a video about it, and I will, after this live stream, I will link it somewhere over here and in the description box. Hi Robert, welcome to this live stream. So I have been going through a spiritual awakening, but even before that, I noticed that I started thinking like, I know that Loki is happy. She is a bred owl. She has never experienced the wild. So I know she's happy. I mean, if you see this, I mean, then you know she's happy. You can tell. Hi, Nicole. Welcome to this live stream. You can tell that we have a great bond. So I know she's happy, but I've been noticing that sometimes I do ask myself the question like, okay, a bred owl can be happy in captivity, but wouldn't it be even better if it wouldn't have been bred in the first place and just if it would have been born in the wild? Wouldn't that even be better? And of course, there are a lot of pros and cons, and there will always be people who say no, it's okay if it's bred, but I used to think that it was a-okay. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought Lucky, obviously. And you guys also know that my name on YouTube is Vegan Hippie. That's why I always say, hey, passion fruit, it's your girl VH. And I called myself Vegan Hippie in the beginning of this YouTube journey because I wanted to go vegan. Now the thing is, I'm not quite vegan yet because otherwise I would not have an owl. But I bought Lucky before I started my YouTube channel and before I even heard of veganism. So I do forgive myself for buying her and calling myself Vegan Hippie. I'm gonna get to the point, you guys. It's just hard to explain. So I bought Lucky before I learned about veganism. But even after I learned or started learning about veganism, I was still honestly under the impression that it was okay to... Oh, she wants to fly away, but I kind of tied her up. Come here, Lookie. Lookie, just a sec. She will probably just sit here quietly. When I started learning about veganism, I still thought it was okay to own an owl in captivity, because I could see that Wookie was happy. The only thing that bothered me occasionally was when Wookie tried to fly off of the perch and she couldn't, because until last year it was still allowed for people in Belgium to own an owl and to tether it to a perch inside the house. Now the law has changed, but that's besides the point. Yeah. So it was still allowed, and she usually was sitting on the perch, quietly just chilling out. But you know, sometimes she did wanna fly around, even if it was just for a little bit. I'm going to untie her and let her fly freely. And she will come back into the video later. Okay, you can go, Lookie. So the only times where I was like, okay, this is kind of sad a bit, is when she tried to fly off and she couldn't. Now, this didn't happen all of the time, it just happened occasionally, but still, this was the only point where I was like, if I would be an owl, I would not like this. So these past few months, I've been thinking, like, is it okay to own an owl like you own a dog or a cat in captivity? And I've come to realize that if I'm 100% honest with myself, I have changed my mind. I think it's better to not buy an owl and to just leave them in the wild, even if they are bred. And even if you imprint them, I now believe that it is optimal to just not buy an owl, to just not support breeders and encourage them to keep breeding. Yeah, I have honestly asked myself the question, if I could come back as an animal, would I want to come back? I hope Lookie is not going to poop on Robert's sweater. Just a sec, guys. Lookie, I'm so sorry, but this is a new sweater. You cannot poop on this. I'm going to remove it. Okay. I'm back. Sorry for the chaos. Okay, so I have asked myself the question honestly, if I would be able to come back as an animal, would I want to come back as a bred owl in captivity? And the answer is simply no. In those moments where I see Lookie wanting to fly off and not being able to, I'm like, if that would be me, I would get frustrated. And okay, I know that animals cannot feel the exact same emotions as we can. I mean, they do have a consciousness. It's just different than in humans. I do realize that, but still, you know. So I have decided that if something were to happen with Lookie, and I hope it does, I hope she becomes 100 years old, honestly, then I would not buy another owl, because deep in my heart, I feel like it's wrong. I feel like somehow I am contributing to animal suffering. Now, I know I don't feel like Lookie is suffering. You guys have seen a lot of my videos, you know that she's happy, but wouldn't she be happier if she wouldn't have been bred and if she would just be living in the wild? And I know there's gonna be a lot of arguments. We can start a whole discussion about this. I know owls in the wild only become 1 to 2 years old most of the time. I bet there are wild owls out there who are 10 years or older, but most of them die at a very young age. But like, it's normal, it is nature. as a human, you can think, well, isn't that sad? But that's because we are looking at it from a human perspective. We don't want to die, but for animals, it's natural. Birds are meant to fly, you know, and I know I've always said that owls are lazy, which they are. I wasn't lying. Lucky mostly just sits on her perch, and most of the time, that was Lucky flying by, sorry, and the rope hitting the camera. Most of the time, she doesn't want to fly off, but when she does, I do feel it's kind of sad that she can't. Also, I would really like to become a full-time vegan. Like, I eat plant-based and I've managed to overcome my binge eating. So because I don't binge eat anymore, I don't consume animal products anymore. And this is very new. This is I've only been doing this for a month now, or maybe a month and a week. So it's still very new, but still it counts. I eat plant-based, and I try to not buy shampoos and makeup that's been tested on animals. But I would like to transform myself into a full-time vegan, like not buying any leather or products that have been tested on animals, you know, just vegan all the way. And I know that by having an owl, I also support the meat industry. Oh, looky. Sorry, guys, she's super active. Come here. What are you doing? Oh, looky. You're a little nasty. Now she's with Robert. Okay. Because I own an owl, I do support the meat industry because I have to feed her one-day-old chicks. And the meat industry kills one-day-old chicks because they cannot do anything with them. The one-day-old chicks that they kill for falconers, for example, or to put into dog food and cat food. So the chicks that are killed for falconers and for pet food, they are male chicks. So the reason the meat industry can't do anything with those chickens is because male chicks apparently are very hard to get fat. They don't gain a lot of body fat. You have to feed them a lot, and that costs money, and the meat industry doesn't want to invest money into the animals, so they want to get rid of them, and they do that by either gassing them for falconers like me, or shredding them alive. They are gassed alive and shredded alive for pet food, etc. And I'm disgusted by that industry, but I also too realize that I'm kind of supporting it by owning an owl and by buying a big box of one-day-old chicks every 3 months. I don't want to do that anymore. I know that by me not buying the chicks anymore, the world is not suddenly going to change. I know that I alone cannot change the world. But of course, if everyone is going to think like that, then nothing will ever change. You know what I mean? So if there are more and more people who will become aware of this and who will take action and take responsibility and who will listen to their soul instead of their ego, then the world will eventually change. So that is also a big reason. And you know, I think it already started before my spiritual awakening, but I think my spiritual awakening and the things I've learned along the way have also contributed to me making the final decision. And of course, we all have an ego, and yes, my ego did kind of resist in the beginning. That's why I gave it some time and really thought it through, because I felt that my ego was like, well, yeah, but then what if something happens to Lucky one day, then you won't be able to have a YouTube channel anymore. And I'm like, right now, I'm like, yeah, that's true. All of my subscribers might leave. The day Lucky dies, they might all leave. But you know what? That's okay. I will still continue to make videos on this channel, not about owls, but about other stuff, spiritual stuff, workouts, healthy recipes. But the day Lucky dies, I will stop making owl videos, and that's good, that's okay. And the people who want to leave, they are free to do so. But I mean, that shouldn't stop me from, that fear or whatever shouldn't stop me from doing the right thing. You should always do the right thing. Um, I do not want to make money if animals are suffering. So don't be alarmed. As long as I have Lucky, I will still make owl videos, but I will also put more energy into informing people that owning an owl is not as great as you think. I haven't lied on this channel, guys. I mean, what you see is real. So I do believe Lucky is happy, but I also do believe that it would have been better if she would have never been bred. That would be the optimal thing. So I also want to say that I do forgive myself for having bought Lucky. I do forgive myself because I know that I bought her way before I even learned about veganism. And I also think it's always important to forgive yourself because you're human and humans make mistakes. It's just the purpose of life is to learn, and you can't learn without making mistakes. So when you do make a mistake, forgive yourself, learn from it, and then move on and do the right thing. So that's what I'm doing now. I am announcing that if Lucky would die for some reason, um, I will not buy a new one, and I will start making videos on other topics. As long as she is alive, I am going to continue making owl videos because I mean, why not? It does create an even stronger bond between Lucky and I. By the way, I just saw someone asking who is Lucky or what is Lucky. Lucky is my barn owl. She was here in the beginning of the video. I will get her back in a few minutes. Right now, she's just enjoying the living room and turning her head in funny ways, but okay. As long as I have her, I will make videos. Of course, I won't make videos to promote people getting an owl, but I feel like I've never done that. I've always said make sure to follow a falconer's education first. Um, I've always said that owning an owl is not more special than owning a cat or a dog. On the contrary, to be honest with you, you get bored with it more easily than with a dog, in my opinion. But I will still make videos. Like, for example, I've planned a video with Lucky reacting to the sound of a saxophone, for example. I will still make videos with her, a lot of videos. And in the meanwhile, I will also start posting more about my hoop dance journey. I dance with a hula hoop. I will post more healthy recipes as well, but the owl videos will still be coming a lot, as they were before. So for those of you who are kind of addicted to the owl videos, you don't have to worry. As long as Lucky is alive, I will still do them. I will still do owl live streams. Sometimes I might do a lot of them because I have a lot of time. Sometimes you might not see me for 2 weeks and then I might do a video every day. Again, it depends. But yeah, I hope Lucky becomes really old because I love her and I don't want her to die. Yeah, who knows? Maybe she becomes 30. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I also want to say that the following days, so the next days, like tomorrow, the day after that, next week, I will do more live streams so that everyone gets a chance to react to what I've just announced and share their emotions, their feelings, and ask their questions. I will do the live streams at very different times. I may do some in the afternoon, in the morning, in the evening, so that everyone gets a chance. Yeah, I think I've said it all. I thought it would take me even longer, but the live stream, oh, 20 minutes, okay, maybe it did take me a long time to explain. Yeah, I just want to do the right thing. So I'm going to see if there are any questions, because I feel like I missed a lot of comments. So I'm going to take my laptop and see. I just have to open my own channel. Yeah, looky. She's looking at me. I hope you don't mind that she is not here right now, but as I want to do the right thing, I also want to give her freedom during the live streams, you know, as much as possible. Let's see. I'm opening the chat right now. I'm gonna start from the top. So Robert Andrews says, but if it hasn't known the wild, it won't have anything to compare it to. She looks so happy. Thank you, Robert. I do think Luki is quite happy, but sometimes I feel like she does get a bit frustrated because she is not 100% free. She gets her freedom. I do let her fly freely around the house. I fly her for her food outside. She lives in an aviary now as well. I'm gonna have to put her back inside the house during winter though, because she's not used to the cold. But still, yeah, it's not 100% right, you know. But I do appreciate your nice comments. Greg says, if it's bred in captivity, then if you didn't have Lucky and give her a great life, someone else would have Lucky. Yes, Craig, I do get your point. You're absolutely right. But if everyone thinks that way, nothing is ever going to change. Do you get my point? If everyone would think like me, then there would be no one left buying owls, and breeders would not have a job anymore, so they would go and find something else to do with their time. And I'm not judging anyone. I'm not saying that if you have an owl, or if you watch this video and you still want to get an owl, that you are a bad person. Not at all. Like in our spiritual courses, like in the spiritual lessons that I follow, we learn not to judge. Who am I to say that it's wrong to own an owl? It is now my belief that it is not 100% okay, but like the fact that you have an owl is fine by me, you know, like I don't judge you at all. Yeah, Robert says the same thing. Look at it the other way. If you had not bought her, she could have been bought by a less caring, loving person. That's true, that's true. Hi, Joker's Harley. I'm so glad you could join us. Robert also says that I have helped him so much with his boy Rocky. You're welcome. Hi, LOD Victor. I'm great. How are you? Keelan James says, at the end of the day, they are wild animals, not a domestic pet. Yeah, I do agree with that, although I also think people have a point when they say dogs and cats are also wild animals, and they are just more domesticated because they have been, yeah, used as pets for a very long time. On the other hand, falcons, like for example, have been used for a very long time as well. I don't know if I really like that argument, but yeah, you're right. It's a wild animal, so. Oh, and Robert just said what I said. He says, I don't want to be argumentative, but what about the dogs and cats? They were wild originally and they escape at any opportunity. That is, yeah, that's right. You do have a point there. I also have a dog, by the way, and I used to have cats when I lived with my parents. But the escaping part, I don't agree with that. My dog does not try to escape. He will stay with us at all times. When we call him, he comes back. Um, we have never had problems with him. He is so loyal. And same with our cats. When we used to have cats, they were allowed to go outside, and sometimes we wouldn't see them for a week. But that only happened when they were hurt, actually. I have some stories about my cats getting hurt, and they survived. They always survived, but I don't know. They were totally free, and they came back every single time. So I don't quite agree with the escaping part, but okay. Um, Hi, Michael Sabat. Oh, Craig says that he wouldn't have another owl after he had lost Buzz. Yeah, but for what reason was that? Was it because you were too sad after losing Buzz? Because a lot of people don't want a new dog after they lose their first dog because they're just too sad and they're like, I cannot go through this ever again. But then eventually they do buy a new dog because they're just dog lovers. I feel like I actually will never buy an owl again, to be honest. Roger Eisnugel or something like that, sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, says, without question, dogs want to be with you, and cats want you to come home one in a while to fill their food bowl. Oh, once in a while. You and Lucky do seem to have a relationship. Yes, Roger, we do definitely have a relationship, a very special one. Um, and that is not the issue. The issue is just that yeah, Lucky does feel restrained sometimes, I think. Um, and it doesn't happen a lot, but that still, it doesn't make it okay, you know? Keelan James says, I get your point and 100% agree. Roger says, the industry does sound heartless. Yes, but it's not only the meat industry for birds, because to be honest, it's just one dirty pot. The meat industry is gruesome. There's a reason why, uh, do you know a slaughterhouse in your area? Probably not, and there's a very good reason for that. Slaughterhouses are very isolated because you can hear the screams from the animals from miles away. Um, if slaughterhouses would be closer by the cities and the towns, people would not eat meat. They would be disgusted when they would see how the animals are actually treated. And I feel like the problem is still that a lot of people, when there are images on the news of slaughterhouses, a lot of people think that it's just an exception. They think, oh, but that's just that slaughterhouse. It's a bad slaughterhouse, but most slaughterhouses probably are more ethical. And it's no, they are all like that. I didn't know this either because when I was a kid and I was watching the news and they were showing us horrible videos of slaughterhouses, my dad would always say like, yeah, but that's only in this or that country. Here in Belgium, it's not like that. But I learned that that's not true. It's like that in every slaughterhouse because there are so many people who eat meat. It's just not possible to um, have create enough meat in an ethical way. It's just not possible. The question is too big because it's just mass consumption, mass, yeah, I don't know. I hope that this makes sense. Um, oh, I am a unicorn on a rainbow says your English is becoming even better than before. I love your accent, by the way. Oh, that is so cool. Thank you. Melissa says, Elke, maybe you could still do informative owl videos when the day comes that Lucky isn't around. Um, I could do that, but that doesn't feel right as well because that feels like I am encouraging people to buy an owl. Of course, on the other hand, I'm still making the videos as long as she is alive, but I don't know. I don't feel like making them anymore when Lucky wouldn't be there anymore. Right now, I feel like it's also good for Lucky, the videos, because it makes our bond even stronger and she gets a lot of attention during the videos. So for me, it makes it easier to not neglect her because I have to give her attention during the videos. I'm not saying that when I'm not making videos, I'm neglecting her. It's just that it's a win-win situation. That's how I feel. I am a unicorn on a rainbow says this topic is so deep. Yeah, I know. Oh, Robert Andrews says, what about the fish behind you? I knew someone was gonna say this. To be completely honest, I think it's the same thing. I think we should not have a fish tank with fish in it, but I'm not alone in this house, and it was Robert's dream to own a fish tank um, and have fish. And like I said, I try to never judge. He has always wanted a fish tank, but in his previous marriage, he wasn't allowed to do so. And I could see when he asked me, because he saw a fish tank for a very good price on the internet, secondhand, and he asked me if he could buy it. And his eyes were so full of, like, it was his absolute dream to have one. And it really is a hobby. Like, almost every night, instead of sitting in front of the television, he sits in front of these fish tanks with a bag of chips. I have photos, you guys. I have proof. It's so cute. So, in my opinion, it's also wrong to have fish. The fact that it is a big fish tank makes it a bit better, I think. Um, but I still think it's better to just not own fish. Um, but I love my future husband, and if it's his dream, then I do not want to take that from him. And I feel like maybe someday he will also change and be like, oh, maybe it's not right. But if that never happens, that's okay with me. I just want to do the right thing. And if other people have a different opinion, that's okay. You know what I mean? Um, I don't want to say that he can't have the fish tank because I don't think it's 100% okay. Now, I do have to say, I feel less guilty about the fish than about owning an owl. Um, I did feel really guilty. I don't know if you saw the videos before these, but before the fish, not all of the fish, we only had like 4 fish or something, and they were really small, but they were in a really small bowl. And that really did bother me. I just didn't say anything because it was Robert's little daughter's idea. And yeah, he wanted to say yes and allow her to have fish in such a small bowl. And I didn't want to say, hey, I don't think that's okay because, it was their daughter, it was their father daughter quality moment. They went to buy the fish together. And I was like, I didn't want to spoil their moment. And maybe that's selfish of me. I don't know. But that's why I allowed it. I do not feel super guilty about the fish in this fish tank because I do feel like it's a pretty big fish tank. But yeah, you're right. It would be better if we wouldn't own fish. Nicole says, if an owl has been born in captivity, then they will be protected as long as they are around the right people. Honestly, everyone needs to understand even about animals such as owls. Jacqueline Wayne asks, have you thought about falconry? What do you mean? Do you mean, have I thought about doing falconry? For me, falconry is even worse than what I do because a lot of falconers are not as good to their birds as I am with Lucky. A lot of falconers will starve their birds so that they will do better during demonstrations, but a lot of times they just drop dead from the sky because when you don't feed them enough, their blood sugar levels drop suddenly and they get a heart attack. I'm not saying that every falconer is like this, of course, but the falconry industry is not as beautiful as people think that it is. So, no, I would not want to be a professional falconer. Oh, Craig, I'm so sorry that you're shocked. I really do not want to hurt you or your feelings. And this is not, I don't know, you don't have to feel bad because I'm not judging you. I think you're awesome. And I don't know, why are you shocked? Is it because in the future, I won't have an owl anymore? But it might take 10 years because who knows? I hope Lucky becomes very old, you know? Jayash asks, what is Lucky doing now? Well, she is sitting very quietly behind Robert's back. I'll try to turn the camera. Just a second. Is it turned? Can you guys see? See guys, Lucky is sitting there just chilling out and Robert is just, yeah, doing his thing on the computer. Ta-da, it's me again. Yeah, Melissa, I feel sad too with the thought of Lucky dying. I do not want her to die ever. Nicole says, Elke, you are an amazingly kind person and I believe Lucky is very lucky to have you in her life. Thanks. Robert says, I don't want to think about her dying. I look forward to many more years of seeing her happy. Me too, honestly. If you never had to experience something, you will never miss it. That's what Monster FH says. That's true too. Sharon says, TBH. What is TBH? I feel so sad on this live stream. You having Loki is the right thing. And also, owning another owl is the right thing. Elke, you inspired me to owning my own owl for the very first time. I know, Sharon, and I might be wrong. Who knows? I'm not saying that I am right. I'm not that kind of person. I'm just trying to do the right thing for me, for everyone, for the animals. Yeah, this is how I feel right now, actually. So, oh, thanks, Nicole, for giving me a thumbs up. Oh, Melissa says, Elke, what would you do with the aviary once Lucky isn't around? I would break it off because there's really nothing else I can do with it. I can't sell it because it's, it's built in the garden. I can't sell it or anything. So I would just break it off. Unless I would start saving birds, but I don't think I would be capable of doing so. And I've never, I don't know. Well, I have had the opportunity to save a bird, but even if I would save a bird, I would not need an aviary because the moment it can fly again and do its thing, I would set it free. So yeah, I would just break off the aviary. Monster FH says, my grandma lives near a pig farm that is almost like a slaughterhouse, and you can hear the screams really far away. Yeah, I know, it's awful. Melissa says, that's understandable, Elke. I will miss all videos, but I will still watch your channel even though I found you because of Lucky. That's so sweet. Oh, Chris says, I know exactly how you feel. I have often felt the same way about owning my owl. I don't think I could ever do it again. It's nice to know, Chris, that I'm not alone. Yeah. Suki is chilling with Craig. Oh, to be honest. Okay, TBH is to be honest. I just learned something. JH asks, what's the name of Lucky now? The name, the age. She's 8. She's 8, I think. She turned 8 this summer. Yeah. I am a unicorn on a rainbow says, I have to go, but good night, everyone. Love you. You are amazing and beautiful inside and out. Have a great night, Elke. Aw, I love you too. Have a nice day or night. Okay, Monster FH says, and the bad part about the pig farm, I went in and there were tiny pigs. I saw staring at one that was staring at me for almost 2 minutes. Then I looked back and there was a huge pig looking at me. Craig says, I have a strong passion about wildlife and photography. I know, Craig, and you take the most beautiful pictures ever. I am so impressed. Yeah, do you make money with it? Because I feel like you could earn a lot of money with your photos by selling them on, I don't know, for stock photography or something, or maybe for books about wildlife. Because I feel like you are very talented, to be honest. I have not finished my liter water today yet, guys, and I have to drink a liter and a half every day. I don't think I'm going to make it today for the other half of a liter, but we'll do better tomorrow. Nicole says, I definitely love animals as well. That's great, you know. Yeah, you know, I do still feel like it's okay to own a dog or a cat. It might change in the future too, but I feel as well. Oh, that was my cell phone going off. As long as you are treating them well and going on hikes and giving them lots of mental stimulation, then I feel like it's okay. But I respect other people's opinion. You know, the extreme vegans are like, no, you can't ever own any pet, not even a dog or a cat. I don't know. I don't know. I still feel like it's okay to own a dog or a cat. Yeah. Oh, Craig does sell images if people ask, but he does not advertise. Huh, that's okay. Okay, guys, I am going to call it a day. I hope I didn't shock you too much. I will do live streams probably tomorrow and the days after that. I cannot promise anything as life is kind of hectic right now, but I will try and I will always announce my live streams on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram yet, then it's at Melkske, it's at M from Mark, and then an underscore ELKSKE. But my Instagram is also in the description box. You can find it over there. So I don't know why I just spelled it. Um, Melissa says, I can't wait for the next live stream. You'll have to. Just kidding. Yeah, I'll do a lot of live streams in the upcoming days. So, yeah, I hope you will join me there. In spite of the fact that this was a pretty shocking video, I do still hope you enjoyed it. And don't be sad because hopefully Lucky will be alive for many, many more years. I do treat her very well, so I do hope she will become very old. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Sleep tight, Melissa. Bye, everyone. How do I end this? Oh, you're right. Bye. Watch my finger.